Have you ever noticed a random skin flare up, a sudden headache, or even brain fog and thought, what the heck is going on with my body? Well, the truth is, many issues in the body are linked to stress. Because of the connection between the mind and the body, stress can show up in our bodies in quite surprising ways. In today's video, I will share 7 symptoms or conditions with links to stress, some of them perhaps unexpected. Now, before we dive in, let me be clear. Stress itself isn't always bad. Our bodies are designed to handle short bursts of it. That's what helps us rise to challenges, stay sharp, and even survive danger. But when stress becomes chronic, when your body is basically stuck in survival mode day after day, that's when it can start to wreak havoc. The following symptoms or conditions are linked with stress. So that might mean the symptom or condition is caused by stress, or that the symptom or condition causes stress, or it might be a bit of both. I'll start with one that affected me personally: low back pain. This one really took me by surprise at the time. A bout of chronic low back pain in my 30s took me on a journey where I eventually learned about the mind body connection for the very first time. And before that, I had no idea that thoughts and feelings had a direct impact on my body. Now, of course, not all low back pain is related to stress, but just knowing that sometimes it is can be really helpful when you're seeking relief. Number 2 on my list is high blood pressure. High blood pressure runs in my family, so this is a symptom I keep a close eye on. Stress can activate the body's fight or flight response, which triggers physiological responses such as the release of stress hormones and the constriction of blood vessels, which can increase blood pressure in the short term. But another consideration is how chronic stress can affect lifestyle choices. People who are stressed out are often more prone to eating less nutritious foods, drinking more alcohol, not getting enough sleep or exercise, all of which contribute to higher blood pressure risk over time. Now, one of the most obvious symptoms you might notice when stress is high is poor sleep. Unfortunately, the interconnectedness of sleep and stress can make things even worse. It becomes cyclical. You're stressed out, so you have trouble sleeping. And then because you're sleep deprived, you're irritable. You have trouble concentrating, you struggle with brain fog, etc., all of which contribute to even more stress. Then we have digestive issues. Chronic stress is linked to a whole host of digestive issues, ranging from stomach aches to heartburn, to acid reflux, diarrhea or constipation, and even irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. Then we have ADHD and focus issues. Many people don't realize that stress and ADHD symptoms can feed off of one another. Stress makes focus harder, and if you already struggle with focus, the stress of falling behind compounds the problem. And even if you don't have ADHD, chronic stress has a negative impact on your brain, with memory, concentration, and decision making all taking a hit. Then there's skin conditions. Have you ever had an acne flare up right before a big presentation or maybe a special event like your wedding? Maybe developed eczema patches out of nowhere. Yep, all of those might be stress. Stress hormones can make skin conditions like psoriasis, eczema, acne, even hives worse. And get this, stress is also linked to cold sores. Who knew? So if you're someone who gets them, you may have noticed that they often appear when you're run down or stressed out. Fertility challenges. This one, I think, doesn't get talked about enough. Stress can interfere with reproductive hormones, making it harder to conceive. And here's the kicker: it goes both ways. Fertility challenges are stressful, of course, which then makes stress levels rise, which can then make the problem worse, and it becomes a vicious cycle. This is not an exhaustive list by any means. Stress can also trigger headaches and migraines. It can lead to jaw and neck pain from teeth grinding in the night. It can make you irritable or angry, make you more vulnerable to getting cold or flu, and so much more. One thing I just recently discovered was that stress can play a role in fibroids, of all things. So now you might be thinking, Okay, great. Stress is basically linked to everything. What am I supposed to do about it? Yes, everyone faces stressors in life to varying degrees. And often we have no control over the stressors in our lives, whether it's your job, your family responsibilities, your finances, or health challenges. But we can control how we respond to stress and what we do to support our bodies and minds in the face of it. Just what exactly? Well, a lot of things can help alleviate stress. Some of the more tempting ones are not particularly good for us, though, and they may make us feel better in the short term, but don't really get at the root of stress in the long term. Things like flopping on the couch and binge watching Netflix or doom scrolling on social media while drinking a glass or maybe a bottle of wine and eating either sweet or salty snacks, depending on your treat preferences. Healthy approaches to alleviating stress include eating nutritious food, socializing with friends, doing something creative, exercising, meditating, and sleep. But some of those are easier to do than others when we're feeling especially stressed out. Because the reality is, when you're stressed and you're tired and you're overwhelmed and even burnt out, it can feel impossible to add one more thing to your plate, even if it's something that you know would help. So the key isn't to overhaul your life overnight. It's about taking small, doable steps that help your body come out of survival mode. So choose just one or two healthy, stress relieving activities that feel easy and enjoyable for you in the moment. My go to relaxation activities for ease and fun are two things that I teach: yoga nidra and art journaling. You'll find more about those activities in other videos here on the channel. So, to wrap up, stress can be sneaky. It doesn't always show up as feeling stressed. It might look like skin issues or fertility struggles, brain fog, digestive troubles, fibroids, cold sores. But the good news is, by caring for your nervous system, relieving stress, you can often improve not just your mood, but your physical health as well. I hope you're feeling inspired to take some time for self care in whatever way appeals to you the most. You deserve and probably really need it.